Hi Sundarji,
Hi, good morning.
good morning. Think you are in the process of making some Ayurvedic medicines or something like that? What is it?
Not exactly Ayurvedic medicines.
Okay,
Medicines are for various illnesses
okay,
like fever or diabetes or other digestive problems and things like that.
okay,
But this is, I am interested in Rasayanas.
okay,
As a researcher into intellect functions for almost 3+ decades, finally I have reached the wonderful perspective of Indian Ayurveda.
okay,
So according to the highest perspective, so the theoretically correct perceptions of the human condition on earth, the Rasayanas are about sustaining, about redeeming, about creating and maintaining the original body processes.
okay,
That means, original I mean an ideal, a standard human being,
okay,
like a cat. When every cat is a cat is a cat, and when every bird is a bird, in the sense of there is no incompetent cats.
yeah,
There is not a single item of the subhuman creatures from amoeba to the whatever level. All of them are equally competent.
okay,
Whereas human beings follow what we call a normal distribution. There are so many incompetent people, physically incompetent, mentally incompetent,
okay,
intelligence-wise incompetent, intellect-wise incompetent,
okay,
spirit-wise completely closed.
okay,
So, Rasayanas are about these kind of herbal preparations discovered by the mysteriously unique rishis of India, like Charaga, Susruta, Vakpada, Sarangadhara, and all that.
yeah,
Are for, as I told you, re-establishing the possible, probable, original ayanas of the rasa. Ayana meaning movement.
movement, oh,
Variation. Movement is existence.
yes,
The process flow.
yeah,
Let us say the Tao of the body.
okay,
The flow of what? Flow of the rasas.
okay,
There are about 8 rasas in the body,
okay,
including blood, lymphatic juice,
okay,
cerebrospinal fluid,
okay,
then the subliminal fluid of the subcutaneous fluids,
okay,
various fluids.
okay,
In fact, the body contains maybe 75 to 80% of such fluids only.
okay,
So according to the Rasayanic perspective or according to the Ayurvedic perspective, the engines of the body, human body work by, let us say, the interplay of basically 3 components.
oh,
One is rather well known, comprising the Vata, Pitta and Kapha.
okay,
They are the basic foundation,
okay,
in the sense that human beings may belong to Vata dominant setting,
yeah,
Pitta dominant setting and Kapha dominant setting.
okay,
That may remain more or less constant.
constant,
But that's not that critical. Critical for the sustenance of the body process is the correct interlinkaged activities of the 5 forces or vayus.
okay,
Vayus meaning the pranan, apanan, vyanan, samanan, udanan. These are the names given to those 5 forces, which are all
okay,
very well known.
okay,
And then the flow, the movement of the 8 rasas.
okay,
In general, if the movement of the 8 rasas are more or less precise, then even the interaction of the vayus,
yeah,
it will invoke the correct dose or correct ambience of the vayus also.
okay.
Okay, so
Now,
without
yeah,
without the work of, so I am interested in this Rasayanas,
okay,
which will redeem the original catness of the human entity. Because
Okay.
that was the critical orientation of my research also ever since 1970s.
okay,
So finally I have discovered that what actually I got into this by Patanjali's book.
okay,
It says, that enlightenment, that means identifying that core operating agent and its linkages of the human entity, can happen by the various propensities by birth.
yeah,
Like Vada, Pitta, Kapha are determined by birth. the proclivity or the inclination for enlightenment can be there by the various forces that are operating by the condition of the birth itself,
Okay.
the timing of the birth, the timing of conception,
Okay.
the properties and the conditions of the embryonic environment and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Secondly, the so-called enlightenment can happen by rigorous incubation, meditation, focused attention on something, and by which the entire reality of the being and its linkages with the existential forces can be identified.
Okay.
And third, and perhaps easier, is by, according to what Patanjali says, herbal preparations.
Okay.
I feel it is easy because in order to sustain even the general health of the body, we eat food.
Yeah.
And this kind of parts of the various plants, like other parts of the various plants we eat for the so-called food, these are kind of food materials at a higher level, at a plus 3 sigma and beyond level.
Okay.
So, I am preparing currently one of the most wonderful, all of them are really great,
Okay.
Rasayanas. This Rasayana is primarily for, let us say, redeeming, developing, sustaining the original process flow of the body.
Okay.
For example, I will show you. Ranga, Rangan, come here. Inga vaanga. This is Rangan.
Okay.
Actually, my assistant here.
Okay.
Rangan, okay. So, Ranganukku ipo 77 vayassu irukku. Appo I have done this Rasayana about 3 years back.
Okay.
70 நாள் இப்போ வந்து உங்கு சக்தி உண்டுங்க எனக்கு உங்கு சக்தி
Okay.
இப்போ
Okay.
So, what he is telling is that he feels a body power may be equivalent to you, which I also know. He lifts batteries of my car and he does a lot of work.
Okay.
100% of the time he is working. What I am interested in showing you is,
Yes.
about 2 months back he started taking the medicine, this
Okay.
Rasayana.
Okay.
So his nails were all very crumbled, very, what you call,
Yeah.
wrinkled, and it was of this width only.
Okay.
Now see, his nails are all grown really good, you know.
Oh.
Even my nails are not that good actually.
Okay.
See? And see?
Yeah.
All that. This is very significant.
Okay.
Because nail is at the very tip of the body, you know.
Yeah.
இது வந்து இப்படி தெரியுதுங்க
And not only that, the nails were all kind of flat and folded. So even that has changed.
இந்த நேரம் வந்து இதை இப்படித்தான் தெரிஞ்சதுங்க நேரம் இதுக்கு ரெண்டுக்கு வித்தியாசம் பாருங்க
Correct. So, மட்டுமல்ல அவங்கள he himself is telling what he feels.
Yes.
உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஃபீல் பண்றது இப்போ உங்களுக்கு இப்போ என்ன தோன்றது body
இன்னும் தோணுது நல்லா தான் இருக்குதுங்க
So even on this body it works wonderfully.
Okay.
That is this Rasayana.
Okay.
Of course there are Rasayanas meant for evolving the central nervous system function, developing into mysterious functions of the engines of intellect, what you call powerful attention, powerful observation, powerful conceptual capacity, powerful intuition, and all this can also be developed by various other Rasayanas.
So this.
Okay, Ranga.
Yeah. So you mentioned about the body, means this body includes the mind, intellect, every totally it will.
Yeah. Of course, that
including the programming, nature process programming. Beyond that, a human being has got some other programming. Even it will improve or it will function because that don't have any limit.
At that level of linkages.
Yes.
Of course, that's what Patanjali said. Now, Patanjali in fact talked about the 8 siddhis.
Okay.
Which are very well known, you know. Like you can make your body to very small proportions.
Okay, shrinking.
Anima it is called in Sanskrit.
Okay.
You can enlarge it into whatever gigantic proportions.
Okay.
You can make the body invisible.
Okay.
You can understand the languages or the communications of the plants and trees.
Okay.
You can enter into the body of another entity.
Okay.
You can disappear at will. You can fly, levitate.
Okay.
And in fact, the 8th one is actually interplanetary travel.
Oh,
All these are possible. The
Okay.
question which you ask now is vis-a-vis interplanetary travel.
yeah.
That's all by herbs only. Everything
Okay.
is possible.
Okay.
Everything is possible only by reconfiguring or reusing and the certain properties of entities and things and phenomena in the nature process.
Okay.
Even the most of the so-called mechanical, scientific, technological equipment which are being invented by the so-called mankind, they are also using nature process only. For
Okay.
example, a gun,
Yes.
explosive.
Yes.
So if something is exploding, whatever in its vicinity will be shot away.
Yeah.
So a gun is basically that. An
Yes.
automobile engine is a refined form of guns
gun,
only, let us
yeah.
say so. So anything, even the so-called computer chip, everything is a restructuring of certain items chosen out of the nature process.
Yeah.
This too is that. This is at a different level. It's at an organic level, that's all.
Okay.
But we are focusing on, because what is so special about,
Yeah.
I would say, what is so special about your interplanetary travel?
Yeah.
Once you understand what is so special about being invisible, nothing. So long as we are alive in this body condition, we should be living like a cat.
Okay.
That's why cat is my model for Rasayana. So this particular Rasayana is relatively oriented towards the body processes.
Okay.
Of course, when the body is in its original condition, other things also will have its corresponding consequences,
Okay. Or benefits.
benefits. So this is what may be useful for people like you, Devraj,
Okay.
or the majority of people who want to live a healthy life,
Okay.
those who are into public appearance, those who want to maintain the rigidity and smartness of the body.
Okay.
Like what you saw in Rangan.
Rangan,
About 2 years back, he was so weak. Every week, every other month, I would see him going to the hospital. Ushi powder, they go to the nearby hospital and take an injection and come back. So now he has no problems. There is nothing wonderful about it because, as I told you, no other entities, no cat is suffering from any illnesses. No, even domesticated animals.
Yes.
Even though their environment of existence is very artificial, even they don't have much illnesses.
Yes.
Why only the great, intelligent, informed, computer operating, jet flying, 5-star, high quality food eating human beings have all the illnesses?
Yes.
In fact, majority of the hospitals are filled with the people living in reasonably good living standard. So that's all different story. So anyway, this is a Rasayana. Which can be of general application.
Okay.
Actually, I am not interested in giving other rasayanas of the higher order intellect process, like intellect and spirit and that level of rasayanas are also there. Of course, which I have made and given to people.
Okay.
So this may be available for this. I am planning to make it for others also.
Okay. Can you briefly explain how it is made?
Yeah.